You open the envelope and there it is in bold red letters. Claim denied. The insurance company you have paid for years just said no to the claim you were counting on. Take a breath, because what you do next matters far more than the letter itself. Here's the part nobody tells you. Most people give up right here. They read the word denied, assume the fight is over, and quietly pay for the repairs out of their own pocket. That silence is expensive, and it is exactly what the system counts on. A denial can be reopened, appealed, and overturned, but you have more power than you think. A denial letter is not a final verdict. It is an invitation to fight back, and there is a proven 5-step ladder for doing exactly that. In this video, I will walk you up every single rung. We covered the immediate first steps after any denial in our last video. Today, we go deeper. First, how often home claims actually get denied, then the 3 big reasons why. Then the main event, the 5-step escalation ladder, from written appeal all the way up to your state regulator, plus 1 insider clause. The insurance company hopes you never read. So how often does this actually happen? About 5 to 6% of all homeowners insurance claims are fully denied. That might sound small until you picture how many claims get filed across the country every single year. And if your claim is one of them, the statistics stop mattering. If this is you, you're not alone and you're not powerless. Right now, it is 100% of your problem. And if your denial involves water, listen closely. Water damage claims face the highest denial rate of all, about 10%. Why? Because insurers often reclassify water damage as gradual or maintenance related instead of sudden and accidental. Remember that phrase, sudden and accidental? It quietly decides who gets paid. So why do claims get denied? Reason number 1, policy exclusions. An exclusion is simply language in your policy that lists what is not covered. Roughly 33% of rejected claims, a full third, are denied because of an exclusion. That makes exclusions the single biggest cause of denials in the country. The usual suspects are flood damage, earth movement, gradual wear and tear, and certain types of water damage. Notice something about that list. Most of it involves damage that builds slowly or comes from outside your walls, and a standard policy quietly carves it all out, page after page, in fine print almost nobody reads. Which brings us to reason number 2, the gradual damage trap. A pipe that bursts suddenly is usually covered. That same pipe dripping quietly behind a wall for months can be labeled maintenance related and denied. The difference can come down to a single word in an adjuster's report. That is exactly why your evidence matters so much. Reason number 3 is documentation. Insurers have gotten stricter about roof age, documentation requirements, and coverage exclusions. But here's the turn, and it is good news. Research from MoneyGeek found that the strength of your documentation largely determines whether a denial gets reversed. A denial is a starting point, not a verdict. Time to climb the escalation ladder. 1 rung at a time, 5 steps in order, and every single one is free until the very last rung. Each rung puts more pressure on the insurer than the one before it. Rung 1 starts with the letter itself. Step 1, read the denial letter like a lawyer. Find the exact reason for the denial and the policy language they are citing. Then open your own policy and confirm that language actually fits your situation. Denial letters sometimes cite sections that do not match the claim at all. Catching that mismatch is the cheapest win in this entire process. Step 2, appeal directly with the insurance company and do it in writing. Attach new evidence like photos, videos, receipts, and contractor estimates. Keep the appeal short and factual and tie your argument to the policy language from step 1. Never fight a denial with a phone call alone. A phone call evaporates the moment you hang up. A written appeal with an evidence file becomes part of the official record. And if you have not started a log yet, start one today. Every call, every email, every name, every date. When the fight heats up, that paper trail is your timeline and your proof. In a dispute, the side with the better records usually wins. Step 3, if the appeal stalls, request a different claims adjuster for a second review. Adjusters are the people who evaluate your claim for the insurer, and they do not all see the same damage the same way. A fresh pair of eyes can absolutely change the outcome. Put this request in writing too, and ask that the second review include your full evidence file. Step 4, file a complaint with your state Department of Insurance. That is your state's regulator that oversees insurance companies. It is completely free, and you do not need a lawyer to file one. And regulators investigate unfair claim handling, which means your insurer suddenly has to explain its decisions to a watchdog, not just to you. Here's why Step 4 carries real weight. A complaint creates an official record and puts your claim under outside scrutiny. Insurance companies keep a very close eye on regulator scrutiny. In plain English, the conversation often changes once a complaint number enters the file. Step 5, bring in the professionals. A public adjuster is an independent adjuster you hire who works only for you, never for the insurance company. They document, value, and negotiate your claim, and they are paid as a percentage of the settlement. That means they only get paid when you do. For big or messy claims, that backup can be worth every percentage point. For large disputed claims, also consider an attorney who handles insurance disputes. Your policy may offer something called appraisal, which is a policy process where an independent third party values the damage. That valuation can break a standoff when you and the insurer cannot agree on what the harm is worth. And whatever path you take, check your policy for deadlines. Every step on this ladder has a clock on it. Now, for the insider fact I promised. Most homeowners policies contain a final adjudication clause. Translation: the insurer generally cannot deny your claim for fraud unless a court actually finds you guilty of fraud. Insurance attorneys describe this as one of the most overlooked protections in the entire policy. An accusation is not a conviction, no matter how scary the letter sounds. One more piece of context for 2026. Home insurance deductibles rose 22% in 2025 alone. That means more real damage now falls below the deductible. So every claim dollar is worth fighting for. If it feels like the math got harder, that is because it did. So here are your 3 moves if your home claim is denied. Move number 1, appeal in writing with a real evidence file, never just a phone call. Photos, videos, receipts, contractor estimates, and your conversation log. The record you build is the fight you win. Move number 2, escalate free to your state department of insurance before you pay anyone. It costs nothing, and it applies real pressure. Move number 3, know your policy deadlines and remember the final adjudication clause exists. Walking in knowing that changes the entire conversation. Bottom line time. A denied claim is not the end of your story. It is move 1 in a fight you can win with documentation and steady escalation. If this video helps, subscribe to InsurNerd because we explain insurance without the jargon every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Disclaimer: this video is for educational purposes only and does not constitute financial or insurance advice. Always consult with a licensed insurance professional before making decisions about your coverage.